Are you sure you're ready?
Yes, man.
Okay. Alrighty. Upmind.
What's
I have
up?
a
What's up?
I have a series of questions I'm going to ask you. In these questions, you can give your honest opinion, or you can lie to me. Either
You
one.
know, I prefer to give you my honest opinion. I want this to be as genuine as possible.
Okay. First question. I know you're in Sinai, and I know that we met in Sinai.
hmm
As an executive, what is like your most challenging thing as to running the team and balancing your life?
Oh man, that's a really good question. The most difficult thing probably has to be I'll mix it between two things. It's time management and, as an executive, money. Financing, especially in the lower levels. As Sinai right now, we're pretty much like a top amateur team, and when I say amateur, I mean we don't have the same backing as like a really popular team, like TSM or like Cloud9, stuff like that. So in terms of finances, you have to be all over the place. You have to manage your own money. You have to manage money of other people coming in, and you have to manage contracts all on your own. And with time management, I'm an 18-year-old high school student that's on his way to college. I have a couple part-time jobs. I commentate at events, and I'm also the owner of Sinai. And I have to find time in my day to try to fit in all of those things. And there are days that I simply can't fit in one of those pieces to the puzzle. And it sucks to do because that leaves me in like a really weird position. It leaves me like, I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like I'm not being productive, but in the end, I just really hope to give out the best product that I can give, and it's showing right now. And hopefully, I can keep that going. So, definitely financing and time management.
Because I know when you're such a small team, you like you're pouring your own money in, and like I understand like where that comes from. It's so hard, and like
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Sinai for a little bit, like I looked up to you and Drew because you and Drew, you Drew and Andy, at the time, you guys were always like on top of it and stuff like that, and like that's how I always looked up to you in that way because you're 18, you go to high school and stuff like that, and on top of that, you guys still, and like I just thought that's just one of my burning questions. I just don't know how you do it because like for me, even I'm part time at work and like even doing this, what I do, it's always so hard, and I just I don't understand because you work, you do the commentation, you do all that stuff, and I just think that all that stuff is so crazy, especially with
Yeah,
commentating.
that comes down to like a really good support staff. Like everyone on Sinai is super supportive of literally everything I do. I make one really good move, or I make like a really successful tweet, and people are like, "Hey, good job!" Like, we got you and stuff like that. And I also have some fortunate, like I'm very fortunate to have a couple people in my life in real life, because around Boston, I'm part of two esports scenes. I'm part of the CS:GO scene, and I'm part of the Smash scene. And both scenes, they overwhelmingly they support me in almost everything I do. So I'm very thankful for that, to say the least.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of Smash and speaking of CS:GO, I know that you've played a variety of games and you've streamed a variety of games on Twitch. You've streamed Rocket League, CS:GO, Smash, all that type of stuff.
hmm
Out of all the games that you play, is there one that you'd always like to focus on the most, whether it be the Smash, CS:GO, Rocket League, stuff like that? Is there one that you always want to focus on, or are you always just open to any of those?
I'm a mixture of both. Especially when if I'm having an off day, I just kind of want to play the game that I want to play. I get home, it's been a long day at work or something like that, and really the one thing that I have looking forward to is like maybe like a good game of CS, maybe want to get my rank up or something like that. So to answer your question, kind of both. I prefer a lot of CS:GO because I'm currently trying to get a lot better in terms of just skill level, aim, really anything. I'm trying to learn the ins and outs of the esport. And whenever I start commentating a new game, like For example, a year ago when I started commentating Smash, it took me 4 months to go from never playing the game, like never, almost never had played the game, to commentating it at like a really big regional and doing well. But that took a lot of practice. That took a lot of time me actually playing the game. And, if you were to ask me just like, hey, what game do you want to play today? And I'll most likely say the game that I'm trying to learn. And right now, that would actually be Overwatch. I'm trying to learn how to commentate Overwatch. There are a couple events around the Boston area and online that need casters, and I want to be part of that system. So, to answer your question, whatever I'm commentating or whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah. I know that commentating has always been like such a like in my opinion such a taboo like side of like streaming and stuff like that because I don't really ever see a lot of people who do commenting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you do that and like I know there's always like a complex of people are so sick of seeing the same thing over again, but when someone does something new, do you always feel like that'll always bother you? Like you feel like you don't get enough support or something like that? Because I know everyone complains about not like seeing always the same thing, or and then when they see something new, they don't like it. Has that always ever worried you when you go into casting?
Yeah, actually. Um Especially now, I don't want to name off like names or like regions or anything like that, but especially when I go into a new esport or if I'm featured on like a new stream, the audience, it's hit or miss. It's honestly hit or miss. If I'm doing good, if the audience doesn't like you, it's so hard to get over that. It's so hard to get over that hurdle. And whenever I commentate, especially for the first time, I want to make it like as engaging and just fun as possible so the fans will get to know me a little bit better. And again, I just do that so the fans can get used to me, so the fans can kind of get a taste for what my style is. And that sometimes is a really really tough thing to do. I've been able to do that with almost everywhere that I've been, but I know that a lot of people have a lot of trouble adapting to new audiences and just overall being introduced into new markets. Again, thankfully I'm doing well in that, but some people do have that problem.
Yeah. I mean, like that's always just been one thing on my mind. I know casting has always been such like a such like a smaller community or like such a smaller part of streaming and well that's just from what I've seen but like I just think in general I don't really see much casters out there. You're the only caster that I know, and so that's always been like I just always like wondered like how did you get into it, like in your opinion? Casting, was it just something that you'd always like subconsciously do and someone was like hey one day it was like just like hey you should get into casting, or was it something that you thought of your own?
That's interesting. So growing up, I really didn't have much to do. I in my room while growing up, I had two things. I had a radio and a bed. Didn't have like a TV, didn't have many toys or anything like that. I just had a radio and a bed. And the one thing that I would listen to at night, I grew up loving sports. Any sport on the planet other than golf. I hate golf. I loved watching. And growing up, I just had like some sort of affliction to just the voices that I hear behind the radio. Like for Red Sox games, I hear the commentator Jerry Remy. For Bruins games, I hear the voice of Jack Edwards, and it's just I began to appreciate it. I began to appreciate the craft a lot more than I thought I would. And then one day, when I was just joining Sinai, they were talking about streaming their games. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. I love soccer. Like, I have a really good, like, pretty good knowledge in soccer. I watch a lot of games in, like, a bunch of different languages. And, I like it. I have a couple favorite commentators, too. And they asked me, hey, Upmind, can you maybe stream the game? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do that just for our Sinai Twitch channel. And out of just pure fun, I commentated it. Just, hey, haha, look at me. I'm commentating it, and it went so much better than I thought it would. The reception from the FIFA community was actually really, really welcoming, because they don't have many commentators whatsoever in the pro clubs community. And hearing someone other than the commentators in the FIFA game itself talking about their game, it gave them a fresh new look on it. And just from that day forward, it gave me a new passion for it. I wanted to recreate that love for whatever game that I'm commentating. I want the crowd to be satisfied. I want the crowd to see me as like a new fresh look on their game. And I've been doing that so far, and I'm really glad to be doing it. So I guess you could say that's what's gotten me into commentating. So yeah, no, commentating, it's just fun. I just love doing it.
That's good to know. I love it. So going back to your local, because I know that you go to a lot local events, and I know that we do live very close to each other, and we have hung out. But
Yep.
well, not, almost a bunch of times. One time, I don't know why I said bunch, but almost every time I try and hang out with you. Um, if I get into Smash, would you be more like, I don't know. I want to get into Smash, but like, what would be your advice if I get into the Smash community and stuff like that?